of all, Brett Barry from Palm Springs, California. Yes.
Correct. Yes.
How long have you been in real estate?
I've had kind of a weird journey in real estate. I've been on and off in real estate for, I'd say, the last 4 years.
Okay. So on and off. And when was the last time that you got on it?
The last time I got on it was only about a month ago.
A month ago. Really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So is this full time for you now, or what are you doing?
No. So I mean, ideally, at some point, I'll get to that level. But at the moment, I'm a full-time physical therapist. So that's my main job at the moment.
Okay. For all of the people watching, was like, well, yeah, I have another job. How do I do this? So you listed a for sale by owner recently, like in the last couple of weeks.
Yes, last week.
And you're in my training, sales X training, you posted in the community, and your comment, which is what caught my attention. I'm brand new here. I have no idea what I'm doing. My presentation is not that great, and I listed a FSBO. So please, and you have a full-time job. So I know this is a challenge for a lot of people. Tell the viewers, how did you list this for sale by owner from beginning to end? Okay, obviously you called them. What did you say? How did that go? How was the presentation?
Yeah, so let me take a step back. I mean, so I got into this. This is my third attempt at real estate. My previous attempts weren't great, so I was like, all right, we're gonna give it one more shot. I'm gonna see if I can get some traction and make some stuff happen here. Mm-hmm. So I knew, FSBOs and expireds. It's a in theory, an easy way into the business. It's an easy way to get business and to get listings if you can figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So immediately, I went on Zillow. I set up, Zillow to send me FSBO leads. Yeah. They would come to the phone. I would just call them immediately. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be saying. I have no idea, any type of script. I'm just making it up as I go. I hadn't heard of you at this point. I was not a part of Sales X training, but I was getting myself into people's homes. For what purpose? They didn't really know, and I really didn't know, but I was in there. I was doing something,
Great. I love hearing this. Is like, yes. Okay.
Yes. I guess being in the homes is better than not being in the homes. So I'm doing something,
Okay. Got it.
So I started doing more research. I was at the gym. I'm just listening to podcasts on Spotify. I searched FSBO on Spotify, and you came up on someone else's podcast. I listened to you for about 20 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, this lady sounds awesome! Like this sounds." I mean, just in 20 minutes, you gave me enough confidence to look more into you, at least. And for the viewers, I'm not being paid to say this. This is a true story.
Definitely not.
True story. So, all right. So now I'm in the Sales X training. I'm actually.
So I mean, did you even you just when you found my website and you joined? Like, did you even think about it? Should I do this? Not do this? It was just find out.
I knew I needed to do something. I knew I needed to have, because I'm in these houses talking to people.
Right.
And I'm like, did it go well? I don't really know. I don't have any real benchmark to know. I mean, I didn't get the listing, but that doesn't mean necessarily it went poorly,
Right.
So I need some sort of knowledge of what I'm supposed to be saying.
Right.
Which is what you do extremely concisely, and everything that you say is super simple. There's a ton of detail in the delivery and in the timing and whatnot, but the script itself is super. So I looked more into you. I watched more videos, and I was like, oh, I think I had a meeting, a Zoom meeting with one of your assistants.
Yes.
I forget it. Apologize.
Gabriel.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's give it a shot. And that's that's.
Okay. So you joined the training. I I don't even know the answer to this, so I'm afraid to ask. So
All
I
right,
hope
go ahead.
you're going to answer the right way. You downloaded the FSBO script, and there are lots of other scripts there, and you started using it. Is that a yes?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And truly, the thing that helped me the most, because I'm at this point, I'm half winging it, I'm half sales Xing it. Okay.
Yes, I get it. It's all brand new to you, so yes.
Very new. So I'm picking things out of the air, trying to mix and match things. But the one thing that I was able to get down and get developed and implemented right away was the listing, the listing appointment script,
Mhm.
um, and that is essentially what got me this last listing. So, yes.
You know what? And the listing, the FSBO listing presentation for a lot of my clients and agents out there, they think it's kind of complicated. There's a lot to it. And you said you feel like it's simple. So speak to that. What did you say to the this FSBO when you went to the appointment?
Well, so we had met a couple times,
Okay.
and this was on I think our second or third follow up. I wasn't qualifying things appropriately, so the first time we met, uh, there were two parties that needed to sign, and the first time we met, the second party wasn't there. So we meet, all the parties are present. I get into the whole script. And I mean, the thing that's simple about the script is when you start to break down the numbers and when you start to show these sellers the glaring holes in kind of their thought process and how they think it's going to go, there's not really much to disagree with. If they're truly motivated to sell and they're truly in their right mind, they're like, yeah, I mean, I could see how you would be a benefit to helping me sell this home. You know,
I love
uh,
this so much because I don't know, you may or may not know this, Brad, but there are other coaches and people out there on YouTube, on the internet saying, no, no, FSBOs, you go out and you preview the home, which is kind of like what you were doing before because you were
totally,
going without a direction. And
totally.
there's this perception, I've even heard this from so many agents over the years, that FSBOs take a long time. You don't get an appointment right away. You're not able to go out and list the property right away. Well, if they don't see anything that you can do that's gonna make sense to them financially, of course they won't, but there's a different way of doing it. So good for you.
Yes,
For you.
thank you.
So
Yeah, and
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by no means was this a perfect presentation, but I'm just listing the details, laying it out for them, and you know, speaking with conviction. And when you do that, people are like, yeah, I mean, you make a good point.
hmm So having a full-time job, Brat, when are you making calls? How are you managing to actually put some time into real estate? Because there are a lot of people out there that have full-time jobs and they want to figure out how to make real estate their full-time career. How are you doing it?
Totally. And truthfully, that's kind of the biggest hurdle I'm having at the moment. To be completely honest,
Mm.
um, I I typically start work around 9:30, and you're technically not supposed to be calling people any earlier than 8, so it gives me maybe an hour window in the morning to call. If I have some downtime during the day, I'll hop on the phone and send out some calls, and then towards the end of my day, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, if I have the time, I'm getting some calls in there as well.
Okay. So you're using whatever time you have, even during the day when you have a break, that's what you're doing. When are you listening to, like, sales X training? There are over 500 lessons now, close to 600. When are you finding the time to actually learn so that you can start being more efficient and taking more listings in less time?
Yeah, so the good thing about my job, so I'm a driving physical therapist, so I drive around all day.
Oh,
So you have become my new Joe Rogan. So I just put you on in the car. You're my go-to podcast essentially now on the Kajabi app, and I just absorb whatever lesson I put on that day, and I take it in as I go.
okay, beautiful. So it is doable. Now you got to keep cranking those listings, Brad. That's where it's at.
That's the goal. That's the
First,
goal.
first FSBO of many to come. And what's exciting about this is there may be other agents in Palm Springs calling for sale owners. They have no idea what they're doing. They're doing what you were doing before. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm here. Well, what now? So when you actually focus on not just FSBOs, expireds, however many you have, it's very few agents know what they're doing when it comes to those sources. So you have a gold mine there.
yeah, and truthfully, I haven't even. I just signed up for the espresso agent,
Yep.
um, to get me access to the expireds because up until now, I've just been rotating through like the same 15 FSBOs, just following up with people,
Yeah.
trying to happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Now
I,
you're gonna get all the new ones and all the new expireds every day. Brett, one of the things that there are a lot of new agents that come to to my YouTube channel and they're watching and they're nervous, to make these calls. They don't know what they're doing. What advice would you give to a brand new agent that is kind of fearful of picking up the phone and making these calls?
don't even think about it. Just pick up the phone and call somebody. Every single time I pick up the phone and call people, something happens, and it's very rarely negative. I'll either have some type of lead, or I'm able to generate a meeting, if not today, later in the week. Um, or someone will tell you their neighbors looking to sell their house, give him a call. But I've never had a calling session and been like, oh well, that was a waste of time. It always generates something. So
Okay.
just don't think about it. Get
Don't
in there.
overthink it. Right? I think no, I know that the more we think about it, the bigger this monster becomes in our mind. And then when you actually make the call, it's like, oh, yeah, that was not nearly as bad as my mind made it out to be. I guess that's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, it's the adrenaline rush. You don't ever want to do something until you do it, and then you want to do it again and again. So the second you're done with one phone call, you're like, whew, all right, let's try it again. So,
That's
I've
awesome.
played the game, and once you get going, once you get rolling, it does become, a little bit like a game. So
Yeah. So I would imagine your goal is to eventually move into real estate full time, or what is your goal ultimately?
absolutely. I mean, my goal now, and that's always been the problem is I never had a clear path. I never had uh, a clear vision as to what I wanted to do in real estate, which can be very overwhelming. Real estate is huge. There's so many different avenues you can take and you can get lost in.
Yeah.
So having found Sales X and having found, something to work on, concrete skills to work on and develop. Yeah, I mean, my goal is to become very good at the FSBO and expired listing market, and yeah, absolutely, I would love to do this full time. I mean, it's fun when it happens and it's good and you're in the zone. It's awesome. It's fun.
I know it's exciting. I guess I take the fact that everybody that hears my name is, oh yeah, Jackie is like FSBOs and expireds. But you should talk to the people you know also. Have you done that? Have you talked to your sphere of influence to let them know you're in real estate?
Yes, yes. So I'm
Yeah.
relatively new to the Palm Springs area. I moved out here during COVID and all that.
Yeah.
And my direct peers aren't exactly in the financial position to be purchasing homes in Southern California at this point. So yes, I reach out. But
Yeah, there's, I not necessarily your situation, but I love what you're saying is because what you're saying because anyone's sphere of influence is a limited number of people. They may or may not be able to buy a house or be looking to buy a house or sell a house. And then what do you do?
yeah,
Right? You got to go after people you don't know because the people you know it's a limited number of people. So especially for somebody like you that's new, fairly new to the area.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, totally. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, this has all been extremely extremely helpful, and it makes me excited for the future. And like I said, my scripts, my presentations, they're not perfect by any means, and I'm still able to convey the confidence to these sellers to happily, sign up and list their home with me. So
That's amazing. Can I use the word you used when you posted in the community? My presentation is Do you remember what you wrote?
I
You
don't
said
remember.
mediocre, Brad.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah. All right. Yeah.
that's what you said. It's like,
Well, I think I wrote terrible and then I deleted it. And I was like, well, I don't know if it's terrible. I think mediocre is okay.
mediocre is a little bit better. But you
Yeah.
know, what's important about this is so many, especially new agents or the ones that have not called FSBOs or expires at all. I'm not good at this. I don't know what I'm doing. Look at you. I mean, you self-proclaimed like your presentation was not that great. You think it was mediocre. The seller must have thought it was great because they listed with you.
They
So
must have.
I'm
Or
sure they did.
maybe I was the only one who called, but either way, I'm doing something right.
Well, you're probably not the only one who called, but whatever you said, because my presentation is about why should they list with you unless they see a financial reason to do it, which is the essence of my presentation. Even if you do bits and pieces of that, look at you. Amazing. I love hearing that. Brett,
Thank
thank you so much. I know you have a full-time job and you're wanting to get on the phone and make some of these calls. So I appreciate you taking the time today. And I trust that it inspired these agents watching that are on the fence, not sure, should I call, should I not, what do I do? Go to Sales X Training. They could grab the FSBO script for free and just call them
Totally.
and read them the script. That's how you start.
Totally. Yeah. If you're stuck between the decision of to call or not call, always call.